So everybody wants a veggie garden. Somewhere deep down inside, we all want to be subsistence farmers and be able to give our family what they provide. And sometimes it's kind of hard to get started because that's the hardest part about everything. So I want to show you the quick and easy way to get it done, foolproof, that'll make you the king of veggie gardening. This is what we need. So these are the little guys that I'm going to be using. It's an urban veggie box. What I dig is, look at this. You see, you can go whatever height, color that you want. And all that we need, once you've got your style and shape, is to simply get a bit of weed guard, which we're going to place at the bottom because there's slats at the bottom, so we don't want to let the soil fall through. So a bit of weed guard does that perfectly. Another little bit in here. Same in our third one. And all we're going to do is add into this potting soil mixed with about 20% compost. Before I get mixing, I want to add in my bone meal. So that's going to add just a bit of extra nutrition into this. That should do it. And then final bit of prep is literally just mixing it all in. Right, this is looking absolutely gorgeous. And you'll notice that you might be saying, geez, Tanya, there's actually too much in here. But I'll show you what happens as soon as you just push it round and then watch here. Firm it down. Do you see what happens? Firm it down. And you must do that before you plant. Else otherwise, you plant it up here, plant your little guys, and they'll just disappear. So I always do prefer just to do a little firming, just clean up the edges here, and then we get a nice level surface ready for planting. Guys, 2 ticks of a lamb's tail, we are ready to plant our veggies. It's as simple as that. So I've got a gorgeous selection here, and these you can find at your local garden centre. And really, all you've got to think about is the final size of what it's going to be. So we know that lettuce are going to get about yo big. We've got some peas, we know that they're climbing. And we've got some brinjal, which we know a brinjal plant will get about that big. So don't be overzealous in how much you plant. You know, rather give them enough space. So what I want to do is literally take one brinjal, and I'm going to pop him in over here. So he's going to be on the outskirts. Okay, when you're planting, a couple of things to remember. Never plant your little seedling much deeper than your original soil level. So I just dig a little hole, pop my little baby in. You'll see my soil level is right there, okay? And then firm him in, that's it. And he's snug and safe. Right, next up, I want to focus on the center, and I've got these beautiful peas. Now, what I love about peas is that you can eat them raw, you can eat the flowers from the peas. You can also then eat them cooked, and the more you pick, well, the more you get. So for that, I'm going to show you what I need. Just because we're gardening in a raised planter doesn't mean that we can't go up. And that is why I've got these guys. I've just picked up some dowels from our local hardware store. I'm going to make a little triangle here. Ha ha, cute. Nice. All right, a little piece of wire. I'm just going to tie them together here. Make a little teepee. That should do it. Bind that together. Snip it off so there are no sharp edges. And then I'm going to put my little peas all the way around this so they've got something to climb up. And as I plant them, literally just quite close to our little teepee. And remember, climbing plants are very smart. In fact, most plants are smart. And I'll tell you why. Because as you plant them, these little guys, the little tendrils here, they are attracted somehow in the plant world. They will find something to climb on. Because isn't it amazing when you're in the garden and you find a creeper that shouldn't be creeping up a certain fence or something, it just tends to find the fence. And that's because plants have this innate intuition which allows them to find something to be able to creep up. So I can even put them here in the middle because they will find this and then start creeping up, and away you go. And then what I'm going to do is just fill in with some lettuce, because lettuce are one of those crops that you always want in the garden. You want it continuously. So as one crop is just nearing maturing, so you should be on going with your next one. So in goes this little guy. Oh, and I love these lettuce because they just go on and on. The other great thing about these lettuce is that, remember, you don't need to wait for them to mature fully to form a head. As you're needing lettuce for the kitchen, all you need to do is come along. You can pick a few outer leaves and always start with the outer leaves, because the more you pick, the more it grows from the inside, because there's its growing point. So you can pick a few green, a few red frilly, and away you go. If these guys are flowering, pick a few of those and throw them into your salad as well, because remember, they are edible. And of course, pansies and viola flowers are as well. So let's pop this little guy in here. And then I can even throw 1 or 2 leeks in, because jojos don't like leeks. So it's a really good deterrent as well to keep away the bugs, because that's something that we've always got to worry about when we're veggie gardening. What's most important with veggies is that you need 5 hours of sun. Really, you can choose whatever is available in your garden center. Whatever you see on the shelves, you can buy it and feel confident that it's the right time to plant them. So everything is planted up. Now comes the hard part. Well, it could be hard if you're not listening up. This is how we need to take care of the veggies, because if you have to plant such a beautiful array and you were a little snail or some little critter, of course you're going to want to hang out here. I mean, this is like a smorgasbord. And of course, soft, juicy, sweet lettuce, they're just going to love. Now, for that, what you need to do is put down some snail bait. Now, folks, when you're using the snail bait, it's these little blue pellets. And it's blue for a reason, because birds don't pick up things that are blue. It's been proven, scientifically proven, so you can feel very comfortable about putting your snail bait down. And remember, you're trying to get rid of something that is literally only that big. So you really need very, very small amounts. The other thing is, you only put snail bait down when you are not going to be watering, because as soon as the snail bait gets wet, well, it's inefficient and it doesn't work. So literally in the mornings, or once you've watered, or early evening, then you will put your snail bait down, because the important thing to remember is that snails only eat at night. That's why you'll come out in the morning and say, something chomped my veggies. What was it? And it's more than likely 9 times out of 10, it's normally snails. So only put it down in the evenings. And that is preferably after you've watered. All right, the other little critters that can get to you are cutworms. Now, this generally happens when you are planting your veggies into the ground, because they hang out there. If you're planting in containers like this, you really don't need to stress about it. But once again, it comes in very, very fine little granules, and you only need to put very small amounts around the plant, because we know that the cutworm literally just comes along, and all he does, literally, all he does is he chops off the stem, bang, and it looks like a tree fella has been hanging out in your back garden. So if you come back and you find your veggies just chomped off at the stem and lying down, you know that that's cutworm, and you just need to put down some bait. Okay, now the watering. Because remember, we've got the compost in here, we've put in the bone meal, but in order to get the best out of your veggies, in fact, any plants, you need to give them the right nutrition. So what I've got here is some little powdered fertilizer. Literally all it requires is 1 little cup into 1 liter of water. So literally that's all it is. You'll do that every 2 weeks. Give it a good stir. And every 2nd week during your watering regime, you will then be adding this good nutrition. And it's best to water your veggies early in the morning before you go to work. And how often are you going to have to water these? Probably every 2nd day. As soon as we get into the more height of summer and temperatures start getting into their high end 20s, you're probably going to have to water every day. Another way to help you along your way with watering is to get those pansies and primulas that I spoke about. And those you put around, because the more you cover your soil, well, the less water is absorbed through evaporation. And remember, that can also be done through literally putting down some bark chips. It can also be done by putting down some dry grass around the plants, because that also helps to trap the moisture in. And all we're doing is adding a little mulch to it.